All right, that's at least 15 gallons out of there. Got a little bit in this tank, but fuel gauge should have been at least halfway up, if not close to it. Definitely not down on E like it was, so something's going on. Guess we're dropping this tank again. Alright, tank is out once again. One thing I'd like to do this time around is go get me some rubber strips. The ones on the old tanker, like made out of foam, and they're just not doing so good. Looking pretty brittle. Need some rubber strips to protect the mounting points. I also need to replace these. Those are looking kind of smashed, and this one's a little torn. And of course, we're going to cut a big old access hole so I can get to all these connections and make this process a whole lot easier. Yeah, that black float is right up against that tray. It is not. The tray is angled. Oh, yeah, okay, so, yeah. I could see how that is swinging out and not giving it enough room because of the way it pivots. Don't know if you can see that, but there's the black float. There's the edge of the tray, and it is pretty much right next to it. It kind of looks like it should go up, but the way this pivots probably causes that to swing out too much to be able to clear it. Little piece of coat hanger here. Gonna confirm this once and for all if this is stuck or not. Oh. Wow, that pump is really magnetized. Just grabbing the coat hanger. Like really bad. Okay, there is the float bar. Yep, that is hitting the dish. That is the sound of the float running into the top of the dish. So it's not clearing it by... Seems like it's just barely catching the edge, so I could probably get away with just bending that dish a little bit, or just snipping it. See, it wants to swing out a little bit. It just catches the top edge right about there. Let's get a pair of straight cut tin snips. Let's see how I do this. This might not work the way I think it wanted to. I don't want to lose this thing. But there we go. Alright. This is a tricky deal, but I think we got it. Unlock it. Bring it over. It's tricky. There we go. Yeah, just give it a snip. Come on. Did that work? Ugh, kind of. Good enough, hopefully. Not a very good looking cut, but Lock it, drop it down, pull it out. I feel like it's like tool gymnastics. A couple of, it's like maybe a 3/8 inch on each side, 1/2 inch, something like that. Hopefully that is wide enough. Let's get a pair of pliers in there. A small pair of channel locks. Probably want to hold it like that. And bend this outward. Okay, got it. Oh, that's kind of hard though. I don't have a whole lot of room to move. Slide it to the other side. And bending it a little bit, but yeah, I can't get my arm in there far enough. I can't move it enough to, some of you might remember this from a long time ago when I was working on the RV fuel tank. Is that gross? That's some pretty tough steel there. Yeah, that might just work. Let's try and push on this side a little bit. Yeah, the steel's kind of tough. Okay. Get those metal. Get those wood sheavings out of there. Alright, that might just work. Maybe. Might need a little more than that. But alright, did some more pushing with the stick. Get the bent a little further. Let's go ahead and just try that. Alright, it clears it. It lifts all the way up to full. Try and get the crumbs out of here. Probably not the biggest deal, but I spent too much time on this tank. It's a nice brand new tank. I'm gonna get some of the crumbs out. Alright, that's a little better. Ran up to the Harbor Freight and got some of these, got 2 of these traction pads made out of rubber. It's kind of a hard rubber now. They used to be a softer, more fleshy feeling rubber. This is more like a soft plastic. Still got some flex to them. Should be able to cut those down and make some protective strips for the mounting points on these. You can see we already have some scuff marks from not using any pads or protection. The ones on the old tank are stuck on there pretty good, and they're old and brittle and they're not coming off. Could probably get this stuff at the auto parts store. I didn't think to ask them. I used this stuff on the gas tank for the RV and it worked out pretty good, so. Alright, this stuff cuts pretty easy. Like some little strips. These are only $3, so figured that's a pretty good deal. And I got some extra left over for the next project. Get the oils and greases off, make sure that I don't really care for the stiffer plasticky rubber, so that's the last time I do that. I'll just ask the auto parts store for strips next time. Alright, these should stay stuck long enough just for me to get the tank up in there. Getting these really hot with the heat gun here helped a little bit. This one's still wanting to pop up, but that's better. Before I put that tank back in, I want to take this bed liner out and cut an access hole. So this is 100 times easier. Stuff just glued on. Yeah, looks like it. Does this really need to come off? Although I kind of want to take it off just to see how everything's looking under there. But a pretty nice strip of chrome there. I like it. Looks nice. Looks like that traps a bit of dirt. Hey, that is actually on my list of things I need to get when I go to town. Because I locked myself out the other day. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get back into this truck. Yeah, sweet. I don't gotta buy that now. I don't know where that was. Must have been under the bed liner. That's a clever spot to put that. I really like this bed liner. It does seems like it adds a whole lot of protection, although it's pretty beat up in some spots. It does trap a lot of dirt, so I think I might leave this off for the time being until the truck's up and running good. Also, there is a power cord, a big old thick cord running underneath the truck that I think there is a plug for. Yeah, that might be handy for the camper camper idea. So if I put this back in, I'm gonna have to cut a hole to use that, or I might just leave it out. Though that probably adds a little bit of insulation. Not that I can't stick something in there. Though I'm not gonna have to worry about insulation too much with the diesel heater in here. Yeah, I might just leave this bed liner out. Scuffing out the paint, it's gonna make it rust over time. Throwing a bunch of stuff back here or anything, so I think I'll be okay leaving that out. Keep the truck filling up with water. I don't think I need it. Put it back in if I need it. This stuff is nasty. Ah, 5.56 round. Yeah, this truck is definitely American. A freedom truck. Some lucky brass. It's a good sign. Is that the first hitch? It looks like that's what that is. Can't imagine what else that would be. Snapped it right off of there. That's no good. Yeah, I'm not putting that bed liner back in there. Just not needed. And this isn't a work truck, so. There sure was a lot of gunk in there. Still set that aside though, just in case. Alright, that's better. I think I'm still gonna take these off. Gonna get the adhesive to separate, and then if I put them back on, because they do look pretty nice, I'm just gonna use screws. I don't like this adhesive idea. Actually, if we do a camper, might be better just leave that off. Make a better seal with the solid surface of the actual bed. That indent is a pretty good guide for how wide I want to go. So let's just measure from this point back on the bottom. From here to let's see here, probably right about there ish. It thinks it's right about here. Yeah, I want to go back at least I don't know, 18 inches. Let's see here. Maybe do about 20 inches to play it on the safe side. I'm not going to want to do any more cutting once the tank is installed, so I'll try and go a little over versus a little under. Let's make that 22 inches. 22 inches on that. Okay, 22 inches. Let's see right there. And we don't need to go all the way up to the edge, so let's come in a couple inches. Realized that I needed to cut this a little bit wider for these fuel connections that hang off to the side a little more. So I took off another few inches. Okay, now that I have an access port, I don't need to leave these hoses attached anymore, which is nice. You just put those on after the tank's in. Alright, I got a mounting plate and a cover plate. Goes in so much smoother without having to worry about all those connections and that large fill hose. It's nice. Alright, that's in there good and tight. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. I was a little worried it'd still be a tight fit in there for like getting wrenches in to connect those lines, but that looks like plenty of room. Oh my god, that is awesome. I can do my hose connection, my vent connection. Got plenty of room to get wrenches on these. That is so awesome, you guys. I didn't bother connecting up anything just so I could do it from up here. Let's see what I think. Yeah, look at that. Easy peasy now. Fix this ground. We just put it like right there or something. Oh, that is nice. That is so nice. Look at that. Never taking that tank out again. Alright, spent $4 to get some new O-rings for these connections here. Since these are looking either a little too big, those are probably just too big. They got kind of smashed. So that's one side. That's the fuel supply. That's the fuel return. That one also looks smashed and chewed up a little bit. They're a little too big. So I got these two things. Tiny little seals here. Got a bigger one for the bigger side. It's like so. Yeah, that's a little bit better fit. And a smaller one for the smaller side. There we go. Okay, stop the time lapse. I just got to talk about how freaking awesome this is. I can look down into the lines, make sure there's no gunk in them. Oh, I just can't believe how nice this is compared to having to drop the entire tank and try and detach it from down below. But that is just so... I love that so much. Let's not forget that ground wire. I got the vent. Easier to work on. Just, I love this. Like that, boom. Just like that, everything. Ground. Alright, gauge looks good. Ground is good. Okay, while that truck's fueling up, I'm gonna go ahead and hit all the grease, or the grease fittings I can find. Boy, some of those grease fittings are really hard to get to. But I got everything on the steering, most of the drive line. There's probably a bunch I'm not seeing or can't find, or they just don't have them on like the U-joints. I didn't see any on the U-joints. But yeah, greased up pretty good. Let's go ahead and check this thing for leaks. All right, that's looking much better on that fuel gauge. That's where we're supposed to be. I love that I can just look right down on my fuel pump now. The top of the fuel tank is just awesome. All right, had some quad. Thankfully did not go bad after sitting on the shelf for a couple years. It was getting a little hard. Or maybe it was just cold. I tried heating it up. It didn't help too much though. But yeah, had some quad. That should do pretty good. Might not be the best option, but should do a good job of keeping water and gunk out of there. Letting this caulk get a good cure under a heat source here for a full 24 hours. This thicker stuff can sometimes take a while to fully set. So I've been keeping it warm all night and moving the heat from one side to the other. This side already got pretty good. It still feels a little squishy on the inside there. So give that full 24 hours, should be good. In the meantime, I'm getting this cover primed up, ready for paint. Started raining, so I'll have to paint the truck later. Got a little brown left. Let's go ahead and use this up. Might not have enough of the brown left, so I'm gonna have to use this flat black. Don't have any gloss, but if I don't have enough brown, it'll look better than having white primer showing. All right, this flat black is all. Oh, there it goes. Maybe it will work. Gotten clogged up. There it goes. Oh, I don't know how much I care about masking things off on the back of a truck here. On the back of this truck here. But It looks a little better, I guess. Not as much overspray. I don't have any rubber sheet big enough to cut a gasket for this hole, so just getting some butyl tape for the time being. All right, there we go. All done.